2026 is looking like it's going to be a massive year for cinema. We've already had some huge hits like the Michael Jackson biopic and Project Hail Mary, and some smaller but still rather popular releases like the 28 Years Later sequel and Sam Raimi's Send Help. But the biggest films of 2026 are set to be coming out in the next few months, with some of these films looking like they could be the biggest of the decade. We've got loads of Marvel and DC films, Supergirl in June, Spider-Man 4 in July, Clayface in October, and obviously Avengers Doomsday in December. We've also got my most anticipated film in Dune Part 3, the final film in Denis Villeneuve's Dune trilogy, so clearly there's a lot to look forward to if you're a comic book fan. But what if you're a fan of movies in general? Well, you're also in luck because there's going to be a bunch of releases from some of the biggest working directors. There's Disclosure Day from one of the greatest directors in history, Steven Spielberg. There's the Resident Evil adaptation from a new director who's in crazy form right now, Zach Cregger, the director of Barbarian and Weapons. There are also plenty more such as Robert Eggers and Alejandro Iñárritu, but I think the one everyone is waiting for is Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan's upcoming film, The Odyssey, was announced all the way back in December of 2024 and has been on every film fan's radar since. Christopher Nolan is easily one of the best working directors at the moment and looks like he's far from retiring. He's only in his 50s and has already created tons of incredible films such as Oppenheimer, the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, and obviously Interstellar. Nolan's films are notorious for their massive scale, and he's made it very clear that he wants his films to be seen in the best format possible, which is why he's become the first person to make a film completely in 70mm IMAX print with The Odyssey. Nolan is one of the few directors whose films feel like an event every time they release. If you think back 3 years ago at the release of Oppenheimer, you don't see things like that every day. Only Christopher Nolan could take a 3-hour biopic about the making of the atomic bomb, a subject that could be seen as boring to most people, and turn it into an almost billion-dollar hit. The aura that comes with the name Christopher Nolan is enough to sell a ton of tickets, and that's exactly what's happening with The Odyssey. Last year, on July 17, 2025, a year ahead of The Odyssey's release date, tickets for The Odyssey in all the world's 70mm IMAX theaters surprise released. It took only a matter of seconds for them to sell out. The fact that a movie can sell out tickets a year before its release by relying solely on the director's name is just insane. However, with the release of the trailer last December, a lot of controversy has come. Loads of people have been questioning the accuracy of the costumes and casting. It's really split the internet into the two groups of accuracy matters and it's bad that Nolan isn't sticking to that, and the other group that says it really doesn't matter, the story is fictional anyway, and we should give Nolan all the freedom he wants. I'm sort of in the middle here. I get that people care about historical accuracy, but it doesn't look inaccurate enough to make this automatically a bad movie. Plus, I think we can trust that a director like Nolan, when given source material like this, probably won't let us down. Using the Oppenheimer example again, that's what he made with a rather boring subject. Imagine the possibilities when he's got a story like The Odyssey in his hands. There was also the second trailer released just 1 week or so ago. That also brought in lots of controversy. I think when you're dealing with a director as huge as Christopher Nolan, no matter what he's going to do, there's always going to be someone hating. Because the reason for this is just stupid. People are questioning the writing of the film based on a short clip of Robert Pattinson's character talking to Tom Holland's character and referring to his father, Odysseus, played by Matt Damon, as his daddy. People really need to stop nitpicking because this is just so trivial. I do personally agree that it would have been more fitting if he used the word father, but are we really going to rip apart an unreleased movie based on one word? No, that's just dumb. There are now exactly 2 months until the release of The Odyssey. I don't want to jinx it, but I really don't see a world in which this is a bad movie. Just counting down the days now because this is looking like it could be the biggest cinematic event of the year. Maybe Dune 3 or Avengers Doomsday could surpass it, I don't know. But what do you think? Will this be the biggest event of the year? Like, subscribe and comment what you think.